to, so I'm going to come around from the back and break her shit down a little bit. And you got to be able to read people off the top to know which game to apply. And then you're going to have win and all your set lines.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's real. So what game means to me is to reverse what women do on them. What women do to men, to do it on them. What does game mean to you? Because a lot of guys seem to have all these different
Hey man, it's
definitions of
Afi
game.
Kingdom.
And like,
This is part 2 of part 5 or 6.
That's a good question. I don't know.
So make sure you stay tuned. Go to Talleyrand channel for part 3, man. It's part 2.
Not the Gigolo interview one, but the one before that, it was called How to Get Expert Level Game. And I kind of just talked about a dating situation.
That's my vacuum behind there.
Well, I said two things. I talked about a dating situation where picking a woman up and basically saying if a woman picked you up and didn't know where you was going, you would be interested. So interested in what was going on. So that's like a reverse mindset of from how the woman is. But what I also said was the game that I give on my channel is for life. Yeah, I kind of just bait the guys.
I bought a burger and it got cold as hella nasty.
It's about psychology and how to maneuver in life. Like, you know, I said, like, you can do it on parenting. Once you know how to interact with people and read people, it works universal. So game is just being able to navigate.
I'm gonna eat this shit anyway.
Strategy. That's to me. We like that.
I like that. That's a good one because for me, game in the romantic sense is just to reverse from the chicks because they do it so natural. But when it comes to people think that game is gimmicks, right? People have gimmicks as game. Like I got a hot tub date. Chick and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this.
I might get interviewed at the hot tubs. That might be the next one.
Called How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I use that not on women but for job interviews. I never had a bad job interview after I read that book. You know what I mean?
How to win friends and influence people?
Yeah, by Dale Carnegie.
Yeah, and see, like that. See, I read that book as well. Now, and this is about to be some game for y'all right now, because when I'm reading this book, and I told one of my friends, for instance, I'm like, this is the book that Charles Manson read, and he studied this book. And so people are like, why are you looking at that crazy shit? He's a murderer. And I'm telling them, I'm like, if he studied this book, and this is the content he studied, he was able to get people to commit murders, follow him, and do anything he say. I got something to learn from him. I don't have to use it to get people to kill people, but I can still use the game towards my purpose. You know?
Yeah, like I use it at job interviews. Like they tell me, oh, you're a great communicator, right? And I never had a bad job interview ever since. Right, so and I don't do this. I approach girls. I tell them this or A1 game or I forgot what it was, like F1 or L1 game. I don't know. This type of goofy gimmicks that's out there. Like this book is the best. Yeah, mode 1 or something nonsense. Like I use How to Win Friends and Influence People because it helps you with anybody, like white people, black people, Asian people. It's literally a communications book, and it's the best game for women. I treat women like regular. I don't get very hyped about them. I just talk to them like, I ask the women, so what are your goals for the next 3 years? Like, and
they're not used to that question.
Thank you.
See, this sexual level game we're connecting here.
Man, I'm telling you, I had women tell me I never had a man ask me what my goals were, ever.
Right.
And they have to think about it. They have to think about their own goals, their own dreams, their own aspirations.
You heard what Sally just said. So this is the thing. So let me give these players some game real quick. He just told y'all that he asked women to tell them their goals and they have to think about it. Okay, so I'm gonna stop there and I'm gonna tell you players why this is important. This is what y'all worshiping. This is what you guys are chasing. You guys are chasing a being that don't even know what they want to do in life. Go ahead. Thank you.
That's real. So they asked me, and now they start to look at me like, man, if I'm really gonna deal with this guy, I have to be on a different level because this guy has his goal oriented, got his things going on. I'm tall, so that he's tall, he's handsome. He's not asking me. He's not just about sex. He's really seemed like he's, like I gotta really be on my A game to be with this guy. So now they want to impress me. The thing about it is that my uncle told me,
Sub to Talleyrand for part 3.
You want a woman to love you more than you love her.
Yeah, because when that's the case, you have no fear of loss, but you're putting on the string.
See what I'm doing for y'all sitting here doing this.
The fear to lose you. If she knows, that's why guys have problems with women because sometimes they know
I'm over here agreeing with my own self.
That she can be replaced. She's not gonna be pulling that shit on you because she knows that you will leave.
Yeah, no, that's real. And those are, I want to talk about the type of players that there are in the game because me and you were talking earlier, and we talk about players.
Y'all got this?
A player. Anybody that has more than one woman is
what movie is that?
But that doesn't make you a good player, right? If you get two ugly girls and you got two baby moms that you're dealing with, you technically a player, but you're not a quality player. So what are the type of guys that's in the game for you? Like who are the type of players? Like to me, the top players that's out here are anybody that has more than one girl is a player. But when I was growing up, you had the Johnny come latelys. That's what Malcolm X called them in his autobiography. Those are tricks. Those are dudes who are tricking. Those are Johnny come latelys. Dudes that paid for women. And if you pay for sex, you are Johnny come lately. You are a trick. It doesn't matter what. There's nothing cool about paying for sex. You're a sucker. We need to stop encouraging that. I'm hearing this in YouTube, like just pay for sex. Like you're corny. Stop doing that. You are Johnny come lately and a trick. No one is proud of that. I mean, people need to stop bragging about paying for sex too. Like you're not.
Tally, he don't like that shit. He get mad.
Still go to the Dominican Republic. They're having sex with all these girls, and they're making it sound like, yeah, I got 3, 4, 5 girls when I went out there.
You can tell that's his reality by how he talking about it.
You don't act like you got it off game. You know, you don't act like they sold you and they just gave you the pussy. Like you paid for the sex, and it's okay, but don't brag like you really got it. So that's the number one guy is in the game is a Johnny come lately and a trick. Then you have actual Max, right? Max are guys who actually could live off each other. They get something from girls, either services, money. She's on the team, like they get girls on the team. Those are Max. Then you have pimps who they literally out here pimping chicks. That's what I learned as a kid growing up. So you got like you had your tricks and Johnny come latelys. You had your regular players who just had sex with a bunch of girls. You had your Max who get things from women, but they're not out here having them on the streets. And then you got your pimps. So how do you categorize the different guys that's in the game?
As far as the levels?
Yeah, like the levels, pretty much, yeah.
Well, I think that the best pimps, Max, and players are that because they learn how to be themselves and get what they want. And that's why you can be the best at it because you're not putting on the act. You're just being yourself. Who's better at being yourself than you?
It might be her.
So if you can figure out how to be yourself and highlight your attributes for a particular woman when you're in their space, you're going to always have women. And that's just that. Like women, sometimes it's some deep ass things because sometimes women like you and they don't even know why they like you.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's your energy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there's tricks.
Cut into my rhino time. Yeah, it's a new one.
The thing is, like, you know, if you just have a certain mindset, you can run all levels of the game on your situation. So if I'm married, that don't mean that I can meet me. I don't want to be married, personally. But if I did want to be married, I would be running pimp game on my girlfriend, on my wife.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I'm running pimp game as far as she's going out on the corner making money for me. I'm talking about the manipulation standpoint.
Yeah.
You know?
I completely agree. Like I actually want to get married. I come from a Hispanic family, a traditional family, right? So I'm all about family. And in my opinion, you know, like my family, we're not that close anymore. I got an adult. To me, my true family is gonna be the one I start, like my kids, my wife, right? So that's why I you know, I know some guys are against married and stuff, and that's cool, like you, right? And everybody has their rights, but I want to.
No, I'm not against marriage, but I'm just not like, ooh, I'm getting up there. I need to find somebody quick. I'm not on it like that. No. Some guys, like I had a friend, right? Let me tell you, I had a friend, and when he was a player for life. Once he hit 40, so he turned 40 years old. And then he just ended up with some ratchet chick and was willing to marry her. She had 3 kids, 2 baby daddies, and she lived in another state. And because just basically he felt like time is running out, so he needs to do something now. Now, if that would have panned out, he would have been in a bad situation. He was taking care of 3 kids that wasn't his, and if that's his wife, he didn't have kids. And then he was been the father of 4 by default. Is love worth all that?
Yeah, nah, he wildin' for sure. But I'm talking about like some guys, you know, like some people in this, and because we talk about the internet, all this manosphere, MGTOW, IVMO, all this other stuff. They don't believe in married, and they're being hurt by women and stuff like that. And they seem that they want every guy to be like that. And I'm glad that you said that you don't believe in married. So I'm glad you say you don't believe in marriage, and I'm saying that I believe in marriage. So now it's two different perspectives to say, yo, it's cool. Like you could be yourself. If you don't want to get married, cool. And if you want to get married, cool. But I've seen a lot of guys that be like, I don't want to get married. Like the legal system, this and women are terrible.
It has nothing to do with that. I just get bored. I'm a Gemini, and if you are in astrology and you read a Gemini, that is 100% me. So I get bored so easy, and I just like having sex with somebody. I don't know, like when I had a girlfriend, we would have sex, obviously, but sometimes when I went out and stepped out on her and I came back to her, the sex would be better. Does that make sense?
Hell yeah, I can, man.
Yeah. Like I had a, you know, it's like you love pizza, like, and you getting tired of pizza, and then you go eat lobster one day, and then when you eat the pizza, then the pizza tastes good again.
Don't get me wrong. I know I'm a Sagittarius, so we Sagittarius, we free spirits. We like to be adventurous. We're very loyal, but like we also like our space and like our adventures and do our things. So I get exactly what you're saying in terms of that, because I've been caught cheating, man, and I actually got cheated on. I cheated on my chick recently with a white chick, and she read all my texts on my Mac. It failed me, so it put me on the joint, and she was crying and the whole nine. But she's back with me, bro. Because, you know, I got game like that, right? And it was crazy. I flipped it on her. I made a whole video about it. Have you ever been caught cheating? And what did you do about it? Have you ever been taken back after cheating? Tell us about it.
They don't want to lose out on their investment. They feel like they invested money and time. They don't want somebody else to just, like, come and swoop up on their investment that they done had 1 year, 6 months, or whatever, you know? So I think that's part of it. They want to turn. That's why women are in bad relationships, abusive relationships, because they've invested so much. They're scared to start over, and that's what keeps people complacent in situations that they don't need to be in.
Okay, tell us a story, man. How did she take you back? How you got caught? What happened? Let us know.
Shit. Let me think about my girlfriend boyfriend days. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna keep it 100. Like I never really got caught cheating. I got caught cheating, but the times that I got caught, it's kind of like I almost wanted to get caught. Like I just stopped being as carefree. I started being careless because I was just getting bored. It became too easy. Like that's when I started opening my rotation up to where if you follow me or sub to my channel, you'll hear me basically say like, you know, I have women who know I have women. See, I got to that level. It took me to the point where I got tired of lying and sneaking around and shit. But as far as breakups and stuff like that, I feel like if your girl breaks up with you, do not chase her. Don't do it, because even if she takes you back, she has all the power, and you don't want to be in a relationship where you got to walk on thin lines. And because what happens is guys will make promises. Say if when your woman breaks up with you, and she wanted you to go to church with her, or you didn't go, you didn't get along with her family. So basically, the standard is, if y'all get back together, the new rules are you got to get along with her family and you got to go to church. See, you're doing all this shit. It's only benefiting her. It's not benefiting you. So
You did.
I always promote fire women. Like you got to break up.
Go Talleyrand the Great, part 3.
You can know you won't take them back. But just know, like, it'll raise the standards for you.
I'm going to try to get this sex interview for y'all.
She's doing a certain thing, and I want her to do more. The easiest way to get her to do it is to break up with her.
It's a new one. We'll see.
And I'll get all the cards, and then she's going to do whatever I say. And that just sets the tone. You got to keep resetting the tone. You got to give them indifference sometimes. You can't be in love every single day. Even if you are in love every single day, sometimes you got to pretend like you're not.
I agree.
All right, man. Well, part 3, Talleyrand the Great. Go sub him. All right. Peace.